Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships Blitz with Terry. Today we'll be looking at the French legendary captain Philippe Auboyneau. I hope I pronounced that correctly. The French, I'm sure, will correct me. He was an admiral during the Second World War, and he was kind of, how do I put this? He was kind of very good at diplomacy and negotiations. At the same time, he was also a very good leader, and you could see that he would definitely enjoy actually leading his ships into battle himself. So when the French surrendered to the Germans at the beginning of the Second World War, or reasonably early in the Second World War, the British made a very, very infamous decision, and that was that the French Navy, or well, what was still there of it, must not fall into German hands. So they decided that, well, it has to be surrendered, and if it doesn't want to be surrendered, it should be sunk, which led to some very infamous attacks of the British against French shipping in North Africa. Now, at that time, Auboyneau was a liaison officer and was actually on HMS Warspite in Egypt at the time, and he managed to assist the negotiations to actually avoid having that force of French ships that was sitting in Alexandria to be attacked and sunk or taken out of action by the British. So he managed to help negotiate a compromise and they could remain more or less in a disabled state, but such that they wouldn't be handed over to the British or sunk. And after that, he definitely got bored with negotiations and got himself onto Le Triomphant, which is I forgot the class, but it's a sister ship of Le Terrible. So a destroyer, had that thing refitted, rearmed in the UK, and then went on to the Pacific to cause some mayhem. And later on, once again, came into a more administrative role in order to unite the Free French Navy and other forces, but then got very bored and very quickly made to drop that to command of a cruiser division, because the Allies were about to invade southern France and push the Germans out. So he definitely wanted to be in the action for that. He was a very, very highly decorated admiral, and has then afterwards performed various roles at the top of the French Navy. So how about in game? What's this commander like? Now, legendary commanders obviously get some special skills. And sometimes they are predestined for a particular ship role. Sometimes they are a bit more mixed, so you can put them on different things. So let's have a look here. The first slightly surprising role is the armament repair expert. I think we get the same with Franz von Hipper on the German ships. So it's not something I'd usually take, but you could, for example, you'd say you're playing on a cruiser. That's something or your destroyer, you get your torpedo tubes shot off, you get the repair time cut down almost by half, or you're on a battleship, you get your guns shot off, you get the repair time cut down. Although on a lot of French battleships, especially those with 2 guns, I'd probably still be using a repair kit for it. The Sixth Sense skill is not something you get on every legendary commander. Only some of them get it, but this effectively tells you how many enemy ships are currently targeting you. And that is an extremely valuable skill to have. We'll get to that in a second. Now, he does get the improved Daredevil skill, and I assume this is more for if you're playing cruiser or destroyer. And he gets an improved engine boost, which actually matches probably most things, because there's one thing that the French ships have, then it's speed and the engine boosts. He also gets an improved rapid reload, which is very, very nice, because once again, this is something that you can both get on the cruisers and on the French battleships and on some of the destroyers like Le Terrible. So he would totally work on Le Terrible as well. The APCS Plus skill is probably not something you necessarily want on a ship like Le Terrible, although she does get 130mm guns, but I think this is more one for the battleship crowd. So this is a mixed set commander. He's not clearly cut for any particular thing. And I have actually completely fully set him up for a battleship, because I figured what I want to try is to see if we can put him on the Jean Bart. Now the Jean Bart I wasn't super impressed with, because she is a tier 9 Richelieu. Now I love the Richelieu. The problem is that the Jean Bart has the Richelieu's guns, and these are 380mm guns, and you get into tier 10 battles, and things can get a little tricky with this thing in a tier 10 battle. So the Jean Bart really just suffers from the tier 9 matchmaking and the huge gap that there is both in armor and in gun calibers between 9 and 10. So I was underwhelmed by the Jean Bart when I was initially playing the ship, but I figured I'll put him in and see if that actually makes a difference. So because once again we get an engine accelerator, we get the rapid reload. So with the improved skills, let's try out how much of a difference that makes. So in the first battle, we get ourselves into a tier 10 game, and it is a flat-out tier 10 game. I'm the only tier 9, and there's a Brindisi on the enemy team. We're playing Cage Epicenter, double Yama Ohio, and that's what I'm talking about, right? So these guns are usually mean that it is extremely difficult for you to play in a ship like this, play out in the open. Now, and we do have a carrier, and a Yu Yang and a Shima. Now, it is Epicenter, and we're playing on Cage, which means there are some good islands where we can hide ourselves. And this is definitely going to be the way to go. Now, remember what I said about the Sixth Sense skill being absolutely essential. And once again, this is the case here, because you really can't afford to take these kind of hits in this ship from guns like the Yamatos or the Ohios. But with the Sixth Sense, you will know if somebody is targeting you. And if nobody is targeting you, that means you actually can take risks or reposition. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to position ourselves next to this island there. Now I am contemplating taking the more center position, especially that there's a carrier in play. But I think I will try to help the Shima with a little bit of AA if I can. But I'm not sure where the Shima is going. The carrier is probably going to try and kill the Shimakaze if he can spot him, yeah. So if you're in a destroyer, yes, the temptation is there in a carrier game. The temptation is there to rush into the center, but you use me as a defense if you can. You know what I mean? Like there are destroyers on the enemy team, and I think we've just pretty much lost Shimakaze. There are destroyers on the enemy team, and I can help out a little bit with AA. So if you at the opening stages, make use of your smokes to dodge torps if you have to, and just kind of try to preserve your health in the beginning. Okay, there's Yu Yang. No one is targeting because no one is seeing me. So now I'm spotted, and I'm going to start opening up at Yamato. And I'm putting her in reverse to slow down. Unfortunately, the Yu Yang had fire and blind torps, and these blind torps were very well aimed, and came straight at me, even though he couldn't see me. So that was unnecessary, but now we're backing off, and no one is targeting me, so I am free to get shells at the Yamato. Now I'm being targeted, so I'm just kind of stopping here and using the island as the rocks here as much as possible for my protection. Also, there come some Yama shots, but they've fallen short. Fallen long. Also, I can actually use this to conceal myself, because the Yamato can't see me because he's out of my visual range, and as long as I'm not firing, and the Yu Yang can't see me because the island's in the way. Now I can't push any more forward, but with the improved APCS skill on plunging fire, I can actually get some very nice damage in on the Yamato. And we'll see what we can do against the Ohio as well. And once again, I'm unspotted, so they can't see me. Which means I can take my no one's targeting me, which means I can take my time and get some shots out at the Ohio, who still can't see me until he comes around the corner. Now he sees me. Now I'm being targeted, and that's the Ohio. He wants my hide. So using the improved rapid reload, dodging most of the shells, and seeing that I can make him regret that decision, as long as it's one-on-one and I'm not being shot at by multiple ships, then this is all good. This is something I can sustain. Now I'm being shot at being targeted by two ships. This could be the Yu Yang in the middle, or the Brindisi over there, or the Yamato. So I'm backing off a little bit more, dodging some more Ohio shots that were poorly aimed. Although it is very difficult with these front turret French ships to actually see which way they're going. And now we're going to go forward again, and we've taken off 2/3 of the Ohio's health, so that push has been stopped dead, and we haven't really lost anything because he keeps missing his shots while giving me full broadside, which is much appreciated because I really don't want to get hit by these guns. But I'm still being targeted by 2 ships, and so I'm not going to poke my nose out. Now I'm being targeted by 3 ships, and yeah, it's definitely the Yu Yang who doesn't like me being here. And so the Ohio's gone, the carrier's taken him out, and I'm just going to go undetected to get people not shoot at me. And yeah, there come some more shots in. These were Yama shots, I think. But a lot of them have hit the island. So yeah, once again, defensive position you can hold here. No one's, I'm spotted, but no one's targeting me. Now the Yama is targeting me, or the Yu Yang. So I'm just going to poke my nose out such that I get the turrets around to see if I can do anything about the Yu Yang over there, because I can't see the Yama. So it's 2 targeting me, so it's Yama and Yu Yang. Okay, so this is no good. I don't think I can actually hit the Yu Yang from here. I'm going to give it a try, but then I'm going to back off again into my island nook here, because 3 people are targeting me, and that's probably the Brindisi as well. Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm going to just go back off behind the island so that Yu Yang can't do anything to me. And then I'm going to go unspotted, so these guys can't target me anymore. I can heal up a little bit. There comes some more Yama fire, but it either hits the island or the water behind me, because it was blind. And yeah, once again, I am just being a pain and holding the flank here right now. But I am to a large amount, enabled to do so by... Oh, there's Midway. Hello, Midway. You're being aggressive. I'm to a large amount enabled to do so thanks to my to that 610 skill, because right now I'm not being targeted. I know that Yama or Yu Yang isn't shooting at me. Yu Yang isn't going to torp me. Now I'm being targeted. Might be Yu Yang. No, I'm just going to back off again while unloading into the Midway. Who now went unspotted. Up. There he is. Okay, I'm going to get one more salvo off at him. No, the island's in the way. Okay. He can't drop me, and he seems to be otherwise busy, so he's not interested. I am spotted, I am not targeted. I think Yu Yang is dead. So at this point, it's just Midway, 2 Yamas and the Brindisi, and we are so far ahead on points that we've probably won this one. Let's get some more shots out, see if we can grab the kill on that Midway, but I'm going to have to be lucky for that one. No. RNG says no. But, you know, we've got a Yama to shoot at. Moskva takes out Brindisi. Somebody killed the Midway, so now it's just double Yama. So at this point, we can start moving. And, you know, just have some fun here after we've been hiding in this position for the whole time. We can blind fire at the Yama because Yama is spotted. Yeah, well, I got some hits in. And finally make use... My rapid reloads are all used up, but finally make use of my engine booster and actually get myself a little bit closer. And see if we can hurt the Yamatos a little bit in return. But yeah, they haven't had much fun trying to dislodge me from that position. And yeah, once again, the 610 skill is kind of what enables that, of course. Now he sees me, they're going to start shooting at me. At least one of the Yama is shooting at me. The other one, I'm not sure which one it is, but I'm just going to go bow in. There's really no reason not to. Yeah, it's that one. Okay, so he's hurt. Ouch, yeah. The other Yama seems otherwise busy, so I'm just going to get an island between myself and this guy. And while my engine boost is still running, but we've won on points at this moment. So yeah, this actually makes this a viable ship in a tier 10 game because of the tactical abilities that you get out of the 610 skill. And I mean, we haven't done badly. We've done the 2nd highest damage in the team here, and we've come 3rd in the only tier 9 on the team. So. That was definitely much better than with a stock Jean Bart. So how about if you are top tier? And would you know it, we're back on Epicenter. This time it's Frozen Shelter. Now enemy team has a Freddy, Kansas, Richelieu, NC, Amagi, Östergötland and Cargo. So no cruisers on the enemy team, there's a Baltimore on our side. But once again, this is on the Asian server, and if that's any indication, no one's going to do anything about the destroyers. Everybody's just going to focus on the battleships, letting people slug things out. So yeah, we're going to do the same thing here, though. Even though we are top tier, this is still a French battleship and not the most sturdy thing. So we're going to find ourselves an island, go nose in, and just be holding a flank and be really annoying about things. And leave it up to the destroyers and at Baltimore to do something about the center cup. if we can hold the outer ring, the two outer rings, you don't have to hold the center cup if you can hold the two outer rings. So you will get higher points income from the outer rings than if you against the center cup alone. But yeah, we're going to use our first engine boost because this is a big map. Just to get to that island over there, and you probably already see where I want to be. There's a very, very convenient little nook, which means I'm inside the outer ring, which means I'm help dominating it, and which allows me to have cover towards the center area where the enemy team is, and get shots out at the flank and allow me to retreat if I am getting focused. So it's keeping an eye out if anything is spotted. One enemy battleship is spotted, but we are losing the outer ring right now, which is normal because the enemy ships start piling in. We are currently capping center, but this is firmly a Benson problem, and there's the Östergötland. So right now, about here is where we want to stop and start lighting up the enemy ships over there, because there's a Richelieu, a Freddy, and a North Carolina, and I've got their broadsides to shoot at, and they don't know I'm here. So let's open up and yeah, just use our first rapid reload and start making something happen. Of course, immediately two of them start targeting me. So it's probably time to back off a little bit and just get some distance between them and myself. Because, yeah, there's Richelieu, North Carolina, Friedrich. Yeah, they can chunk my health down, so I'm just going to back off a little bit. And I'm unspotted, which means they are not targeting me anymore. You see where I'm getting at, right, with this kind of gameplay. It is extremely frustrating. So if you're faced with this on the opposing team, right, you need to dislodge a French battleship that is entrenching like this, and I'm doing the exact same kind of nonsense in the Richelieu. I can actually fire without being spotted, because in order to be spotted, they need to see the highest point of my ship, which is the antenna there. Now I'm inched forward a little bit too much, but I can actually get myself out. Now they have something else to do, and they are being torped over there. And their destroyer seems to have vacated the center circle. But now three of them immediately see me and go back to targeting me. So I'm going to back off again because there's some fire incoming. Let's reverse, take some shots from... The beautiful thing is if they are shooting at me and they're not actually doing anything, like all these salvos, they do minimal damage to me. I'm almost at full health still. I mean, yes, I have one heal down, but I can very much... I can very much sustain that, and they are not going to have much fun. In the meantime, they're not shooting at anyone else. Okay, Benson, I think, just ran into all those torps. So yeah, that's probably a dead Benson. No, he survives. Lucky Benson. Oh, this must have been Östergötland torps then, if he survived that one. Okay, now the Freddy has gone into hiding, and just the Richelieu and Östergötland are sitting over there. The Benson has conveniently taken some torps for me, so there's a nice big gap. So I can inch out again, and once again I'm actually not spotted here. And I still have two heals, so they have lost this flank. And because of the crossfire that we could set up, and just generally be, super annoying to them. I mean, look at this. I can shoot at these guys without them being able to spot me, because there's nobody on their flank who can actually get vision. If somebody was on that same island on the other side, like Freddy over there, then that would be ideal, but he isn't. And he can't now because the destroyers have broken through. So, yeah. Now I'm spotted, but I think at this point, I mean, they're so far behind on points. They're still only one ship down, but I think they are so far behind on points, and I'm at full health almost, that it's time to get going and probably do something here. So, let's see if we can kill the Freddy, because he's sitting there perma-flooding, giving broadside, and they still got Richelieu, North Carl, Amagi. It's all kinds of stuff for us to shoot at. And a Kansas over there who seems to be rather on full health. So yeah, this is not over yet, even though they're two ships down. They could still pull something. If that Benson dies, and I don't know how much health the other destroyer has, they might still be able to kill, but they're not going to win on points, so they're going to have to go for the kill. Okay, someone is targeting me, but that's fine. I'm on engine boost. I'm just going to get myself behind this island. Yeah, it's the Kansas, I think. Oh no, these shots weren't meant for me. So now we're going to slow down again. We don't want to rush headfirst into everything, but we can start shooting up the Amagi. Oh, Östergötland torps. How do I know it's Östergötland torps? Because they're quick. And they caused a flood, which is fine. I can live with that. And is anyone... Cruiser, would you mind? There's an Östergötland over there, like in the center cup, where I am. you know. Okay, let's just make sure the Amagi is dead, just to be certain. Okay, Kansas shooting at us. Yep, that hurts, and he takes out one of my gun turrets. And my Damacon is on cooldown because of the Östergötland Torp. No, Cruiser doesn't want to kill the Östergötland. Östergötland's just sitting there. Okay, let's keep the island in between him and myself, just in case he's trying to torpedo me again. So I'm going to have to wait for the turret to be repaired, but thanks to the skill, this actually isn't taking all that long. And we can just do a little bit more damage while we're waiting for the points to tick over, because we are holding the center cup. And yeah, the Kansas does hurt, definitely. But I'm about to get my turret back, so I can still maybe get a couple more shots off. Yep, there come the Östergötland Torps. I knew these were coming. That's why I'm moving forward, using the islands as one does. And let's get a couple more shots out at the Kansas. See if we can do some more damage before the game ends. But we're at 959 points, so I'm not sure how many more salvos I'm actually going to get at that thing. But yeah, once again, this is a really nice skill set, especially for a ship in which you need to avoid coming under concentrated fire. To know when you're being shot at is hugely valuable. And with the improved APCS skill, even the 380s are still viable in a tier 10 game, doing damage at long range. So this is an excellent commander. And if you like playing French battleships, now he would work on a cruiser probably that's the same, and on a destroyer. Like you could put him on Le Terrible probably and have something almost historically accurate. But it is, I think this is a very good multi-role commander. And if you want to play him on battleships, then it's an excellent choice. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.